Calling you, answer your phone, I'm calling you. Ever since I said I wanted you, it's been hard to find you. I wanna sip on your fountain, baby. I can move mountains for you. I am the captain, so prepare for the landing. You know when I see you walk, so exceptional. Every step looks so intentional. You're making this so difficult. You might get me in trouble. Just one, she running on scotch. Chemistry on stylish, elegant one. From a 0 to 100, this girl got me messed up. And you know what you doing to me. Why do I feel like I'm falling?
Hello guys, welcome to Boxing Block Center, the home of Nigerian Fair Boxing. Please, if you're new to this channel, make sure you click the like and of course the subscribe button right now, and also go to the notification bell icon, click it and select or switch around opinion bank. A new exclusive video, definitely be notified. I'm live right here with my brothers Tajagbe, Maljo, and of course Wallin. So it is official, Joshua versus Otto Wallin from Sweden, a very talented guy whom of course busted Fury up and was supposed to win that fight. We all know if the reverse was the case, Otto Wallin would have been stopped by the referee. But because Fury always have some sort of advantage and some sort of, he's being favored basically by the judges, by the referees and stuff like that, and he got away with that. Now after Joshua fighting a guy, a southpaw, let's keep it real, a southpaw. Joshua is not really like a style against southpaw is a very, I don't know, he kind of have problems with southpaw. I would say that. But him taking this fight is a very dangerous fight. It's a fight that Otto Wallin can win. You know, we don't know like the version of Otto Wallin that will show up, but we know that Otto Wallin has been very active and he still has one loss. And I would say, in my opinion, that fight with Fury should have been a draw. Like basically, Fury has so many undeserved wins, wins in his career. Is it a McDermott one? Is it the Francis Ngannou one? Is it the Otto Wallin one? Listen, man, Fury bubble has been busted. So let's get to it right here. Let's go about on here. Adewale to give you a stake. Adewale, Joshua Wallin.
Yes, sir.
This is of course part of the Saudi Arabia card. I think it's called Riyadh season. But we're gonna talk about this fight. We'll talk about the whole card for sure, and of course, let's not forget that Deontay Wilder is also on that card. And we'll talk about that card in a whole, but right now we focus on Joshua versus Wallin. How does this fight play out in your opinion? And what do you make of the event in a whole? Like, to put all these guys together, there's a lot of money here. I'll tell you right now. Saudi Arabia. What did you say?
Fans.
What did you say?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just saying that we're thankful to the Saudi people for putting that card together. Not all of us like certain things about certain people, but when credit is due, then we have to give credit. So without the Saudis' involvement in the heavyweight division, it was already, it wasn't moving anywhere. Nothing was happening in 2023. We've not had any major significant fights. Maybe Usyk DuBois was the most prominent fight of 2023, or Fury Ngannou. That just lets us know the state of the heavyweight division. It's not been moving. So the fact that we could have so many top 10 talents put together on the same card, man, nobody has ever seen that. I'm not, listen, man, I only started watching boxing like 10 years ago. And in my 10 years of watching boxing, nothing close to this has ever happened. So yes, shout out to the Saudi people. Shout out to Anthony Joshua and Otto Wallin. In all fairness, AJ is the A side in this situation, so He has more opportunities to pick and choose his opponents. And the fact that he accepted to fight Otto Wallin in a short notice, man, I have to give the guy respect because Otto Wallin is not a slouch. Yeah, Otto Wallin can actually beat AJ. It'll be difficult. AJ is still the favorite because he's a better boxer. He's stronger than Otto Wallin. I don't think he would have any fears or any worries with Otto Wallin. I believe that fight will most likely go to distance and AJ winning on points. But I hope AJ doesn't let that fight close. If it's a close fight, Otto Wallin will be robbed. The victory will be given to AJ because of the money factor. But if I could speak to AJ, I would encourage him to make sure you separate yourself in that performance. Don't stink up the place. Don't give fans the opportunity to say that, oh, you robbed Otto Wallin. No, don't let that happen. Go in there and impose yourself on Otto Wallin. Have no fears of the guy. He doesn't punch hard. So go there, set up that right hand. He's a lefty, he's a southpaw. Your straight right hand will land on the target. That's what I have to say about that.
Times, but I'm sure take on this. Let's go around here, Mayo Joe, to give you stake. Mayo Joe, what do you make of Joshua fighting Otto Wallin? It is a dangerous fight, we know already.
Yes, sir. It's really good to be back on BBC. It's good to have you here again. Thank you for all you do. Now, as regards this fight, I totally agree with everything Adewale said. First of all, just like everyone is doing now, I'd like to thank Turkey Al Sheikh for allowing the heavyweight division to come back to life because he was dying, man. He was really, really dying. Like, throughout this year, we've only had the DuBois against Usyk fight.
Sorry to interrupt, bro. I think Fury killed this heavyweight division.
Well, he did. Of course, he did.
His inactivity, unpredictability. That the guy, like, he just, in fact, not that, just that the guy doesn't really. I don't know, man. Just he killed the hype.
It's the reason why in boxing, I don't like the idea of having too many belts because obviously when the belts are tied up, then the only options you're going to have as a champion would be to defend. And Fury wasn't even defending anyway. And he was meant to have fought, Fury was meant to have fought Usyk, but he didn't. And he kept, dodging and kept playing games and all that. Anyway, I'm sure we're going to come back to that conversation later. But I really, really am grateful that the Saudi came in. Although I don't know if this is sustainable, obviously, for obvious reasons. I don't think they can continue to pump in all that money into boxing because there's a lot of money they pump in. I've been watching boxing as well for maybe about 15 years thereabout, and I've never, ever, ever seen a card like the 23rd of December card. That is a crazy, crazy card. I don't even think that has happened in the history of boxing before. It's never happened. Honestly, it's a crazy card. You have almost everyone in the heavyweight division, besides Andy Ruiz, who just came back from a surgery, and obviously Usyk and Fury. But other than those three guys, everyone is almost there. So I really give it up to them. Now, Joshua Wallin. Big kudos to Joshua for taking this fight. Honestly, it's not, to me, the way I see Wallin, right? Good fighter, but I give him a 6 in everything. A 6 in power, maybe even 5 in terms of the power department. Skills, maybe 7. Movement, maybe about 7 as well. So the way I'm looking at this, right, I'm like, okay, what does Otto Wallin, what does he do better than AJ? In what department is he really better than AJ? And I'm looking at all the departments and I'm like, AJ moves better than him. AJ is way stronger, punches harder. I think AJ is more skillful as well and more talented, naturally talented than Wallin. Yes, Wallin has been fighting way longer before AJ, but AJ I think is more talented. And also, AJ fought him twice before. I think that would also give him confidence that, okay, I fought this guy twice before. I beat him the 2 times. He was my sparring partner. I know maybe not everything about him, but I do know quite a bit about him. And I think that that will give AJ some kind of confidence going into that fight, because it's one thing when you are fighting someone you've never ever fought before. You don't know what to expect. All you can rely on will be, fight footages and stuff like that. But in terms of Otto Wallin, he's fought this guy twice before, and he beat him the 2 times as well. And besides that, Otto Wallin, before the Fury fight, no one knew about Otto Wallin. No one was talking about Otto Wallin, you know. And then all of a sudden, he gave Fury a tough fight, and then everyone is talking about Otto Wallin. I watched his fight against Gassiev, and I'm like, yes, it was a decent performance, but I don't see anything fantastic. I actually did watch the whole fight, and I'm like, AJ in there with Gassiev, AJ would have probably knocked him out based on the performance, on that last performance anyway. So as much as it is a very, very, it is a tricky one, it is a tricky challenge, I really do not see what Wallin would do. If he goes the distance, they're going to give AJ the decision anyway, regardless. And I think AJ has the capacity to knock him out, because Wallin does gas out as well. Towards the middle, I'd say from around round 7, round 8, round 9, he does really gas out, even worse than AJ. And the last 2-3 fights have shown us that AJ has improved tremendously in terms of his gas tank. So Wallin does gas out. Look at his fight against Dominic Brazil. He did gas out. Even his last fight against Garcia, he did gas out. So he's going to have to be moving a lot as well. I don't think AJ is going to be afraid of his power at all. At all. And AJ is taller than him, I think about 1 inch taller. So I think that AJ is probably going to take the fight to him, maybe box for the first 3-4 rounds. And after that, he's going to take the fight to him. I don't see, obviously you can't be 100% sure what's going to happen in a fight. You can't really tell what the outcome is going to be. However, I do think that AJ has got his number. Like I said, he's fought him before, twice. He's sparred many rounds with him. He knows him in and out. And AJ looks upset, looks angry. He has a point to prove. I think AJ is going to be him. And I think it's going to be a knockout around the 9th or the 10th round. That's what I think.
Well, one thing I would say that, of course, Joshua does have problem with southpaws, so we'll see how it deals.
But remember, we keep saying Joshua has problem with southpaws. Everybody has problem with southpaws. Okay, even southpaws have problem against each other. I'll give you an example. So Terence Crawford fight both southpaw and orthodox. But then when he fought Errol Spence, he decided to go southpaw, and I gave Errol Spence, who is a natural southpaw, it gave him problems. So southpaws they give problems to anyone, really. So in my opinion, you can't compare Wallin's level of skills level. You can't compare it with Usyk. Usyk is people don't know how good Usyk is. You're gonna see against Fury. That fight against Fury, people will see how good Usyk is. People will understand how difficult it is to fight that guy. It's not only because he's southpaw. The guy is just good. He's a natural. He's talented. He's a boxer. He's like one of them footballers where they don't need to learn how to play football. Growing up in Nigeria, I saw a lot of guys where they never learned how to play football, but they are just good. They are just natural. That's what Usyk is. Usyk is natural. So I don't think Wallin is on that level at all. Not even close. And Wallin, Joshua, his 2 fights against Usyk, and his 1 fight against I work this out like a god. What's his name?
Charles Martin.
Charles Martin would have prepared Joshua well enough, man, to face Wallin. And remember, Joshua fought Usyk twice recently. So I think it's ready, man. I don't think Wallin is going to be too much of a problem. Honest opinion, anyway. That's all I've got to say for now.
Ties, what I appreciate your take on this. This guy around here, Todd Jagwe, to give his take on the Joshua Otto Wallin fight. Todd Jagwe.
Yes.
Yeah, your breakdown this far, bro.
Okay. Well, I like what everybody has said so far. Let's be honest, man. You know why boxing is at a standstill? It's because of Mauricio Sulaiman. He's the reason boxing is at a standstill, and maybe especially in the heavyweight division, but in general, he is the reason why. Because one, you do not, as a president of an entity, you don't go around choosing sides. You do not do that. You don't go around favoring fighters. You do not do that. As an entity, it's more to be you're inclined to actually have these fights be made, or these fighters be stripped of the belts. You don't go around saying, "Oh, yeah, Tyson Fury doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to do." No. It's either he fights or gets stripped. That's why these fans are tired and they don't want to continue paying for bullshit fights when it happens. And that Francis Ngannou fight, God bless Francis. I'm glad he made the money, but that was a bullshit fight. And this is what happens when this is what you get when that happens. And now he's like, oh crap, Tyson Fury fucked up. I have to say this as a president, and I have to put Francis Ngannou in the top 10 in the top 10. That's what he was thinking. I have to make money off of what Tyson did, because Tyson looked like crap. Even the Saudis are pissed. I'm pretty sure the Saudis are pissed at Tyson because they had a date set, and now Frank Warren had to call Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn, had to call PBC to get Deontay Wilder, or they must thank AJ and Wilder for that. It's not Frank Warren. They must thank AJ and Wilder for that, because if it wasn't for AJ, man, they can't just bring anybody in there. Now they brought AJ and Wilder and a solid card underneath. That is a solid card, and that's how boxing should be. But Mauricio Sulaiman has no excuse. He's been the guy that's been messing up this whole heavyweight division and the other division as of late. He just loves to choose sides, and now he's going on a rant saying about the Ring magazine, how it's bad for boxing, apparently, like that. But for some reason he forget that he's made up a couple belts. He's made up a couple belts, and has yet to stop choosing sides. He needs to stop that. It's bad for boxing. But let me go back to the main topic. You know what? Otto Wallin versus Anthony Joshua. I have to say I hold Anthony Joshua to a higher standard when it comes to fights like Otto Wallin. But let me tell you this, man. I don't know if people were projecting their fear onto AJ, or they're trying to make that guy seem like it's always gonna look like that for some reason. I don't know what is wrong. I feel like the fans that hate AJ are extremely weird. I don't know what it is. You can't say you see something in a guy that I simply do not see, and I'm a fan of this. It's funny because now they say AJ looks scared. No, dude, that guy does not look scared. I don't know. I don't get the issue. They keep saying he's scared. The guy doesn't look scared. The guy doesn't look nervous. Whatever distraction you're trying to do, it's not working. The distraction is not there. Always trying to distract somebody from trying to do something. But to me, that guy looks focused, and he looks focused at the task at hand. He's not going to jump into petty squabble squabble, but going back between Wilder and Jarrell, Big Baby Miller. Yes, you can clearly see that Big Baby Miller got under his skin, and I simply cannot stand what the Queensberry, whatever that guy's name is, that Indian guy, Devin something. I cannot stand that guy. And AJ, I'm glad AJ said something. Eddie Hirsch should be the one asking the questions, not that guy. And I'm glad he said something. And you know what's funny? Now that AJ has dictated, like, I would not fight Big Baby Miller. I wouldn't fight him. He does not deserve any money. People saying, "Oh, he's good for boxing." That's the issue. That is the issue right there. The drug cheat is not good for boxing. Those guys should not be nowhere trying to make any type of money. Imagine if Dillian White comes back and says the same thing, people are gonna be pissed. No, Jordan Miller's done. I wouldn't give that guy an opportunity if it was there. I'm pretty sure they're not going to give him an opportunity no matter what, because I wouldn't give him an opportunity. It won't be like that. Not like an Andrew Ruiz. Where's Andrew Ruiz right now? Nowhere to be found. Okay, he should be in this card. Andrew Ruiz should be in the Saudi Arabia card, but he's not. He's nowhere to be found. He hasn't been taking care of himself. He's been talking shit. Okay, he ducked Wilder, that's for sure. But let me go back to the topic. But between Otto Wallin and Anthony Joshua, I think AJ. I hold a high standard to AJ. AJ has fought a good southpaw, and I honestly believe him fighting that good southpaw and being able to, going up on a card and being able to actually do what he did against a good southpaw like of a caliber like that, Usyk. I think when we saw that video of him smashing those pads, we all knew where his mindset is. After getting back off the interview, he went straight to Ben Davis and started smashing pads. You all know what he's gonna do. He's not gonna box. That's for sure. He ain't gonna box. He's gonna go in there and really beat the crap and really put the steamroll on Otto Wallin, because it worked for him with the first fight with I believe it was the first fight with Usyk, compared to the second fight where I think he tried to box more. I can't even remember, but the first fight Usyk had a lot more damage compared to the second fight.
It was the other way.
It was the other way. Oh, okay, yeah. So I think Usyk he did more damage. So I think it will come in his favor if he stuck to his old ways. And Otto Wallin hasn't changed, other than he's very good. He shoots the jab a lot. He really shoots the jab a lot. So I mean, AJ's just gonna have to keep parrying those jabs, and he still has the right hand open, right? He's gonna have to keep controlling the jab with the left and try to move out the way. But it's gonna be where they left off in the amateurs, or where they left off when they were fighting in the ring as prospects. So I personally believe I hold AJ to a higher standard, and I think AJ should be able to get this done. I think it's going to end in a knockout. I do believe AJ has gained more confidence, and we're going to see a different side of AJ. And I honestly believe it's not going to go the distance. It's going to go to a knockout and the deciding factor is going to be AJ. It all depends on what AJ wants to do. Going back to Ben Davison, the guy's good. He's trained a lot of He's trained a lot of southpaws. I would think Derek James would be in the corner, and so would Ben Davison. But I guess it's not how it works. Maybe Derek James has a lot. He does have a lot of fighters. He has a lot of good fighters. Ryan Garcia's in there. Ryan Garcia he's trained. I think he has a fight coming up. He's probably working on Errol Spence. It's too much. That's way too much. So AJ had to go to Ben Davison. Like, hey, it is what it is. Hopefully Ben Davis can come out with a good plan, and we could go from there. I trust him. At the same time, I don't trust him. But it all depends on what AJ shows up, and let's see how it goes, man. I'm not gonna make any prediction until towards the end.
Times, but I appreciate your take on this, guys. You heard it from our brother Todd Jagway, Wallin, of course, Mayo Joe. So we go to the next one for sure. We're gonna definitely we'll discuss the whole card, and it's quite interesting that Saudi Arabia, they were able to put in the work and make this happen right here. It shows how much dedicated Saudi Arabia is to boxing and other sports in general. So we just have to see how far they go with it, and if they're gonna stop anytime soon. So discussing the day of reckoning, the card, the event that will take place on the 23rd of December next month in Saudi Arabia. On the card you have Joshua Wallin Wilder, Joseph Parker. You have Dimitri Bivol there. You have Far. You have Sanchez. You have Filip Ergovic. You have Makhmudov. You have Adit Kabayer. You have Daniel DuBois versus Jeremy Miller. Bro, this is something else. But I would say the intriguing one, my opinion, is the Lyndon Arthur Bivol one. I know Bivol is a monster, probably stop Arthur, but I do feel like Arthur might do something that maybe we haven't seen before. But the card now, the fights on the card, Jeremy Miller won, the Wilder, Joseph Parker. Can you guys break it down? Which one are you looking forward to the most? Let's go on here at the Wallin for that, and then go to Baljo and Tajabwe. Which one are you guys looking forward to the most? At the Wallin.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, bro.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. And I know you guys are gonna be surprised by my selection, but I'm looking forward to Jai Opeitai, the cruiserweight IBF king. Jai is such a phenomenal fighter, in my opinion. I have only watched about 3 fights of Jai. I seen this guy with a broken jaw beating the shit out of his opponent. And then he's so athletic. He dips in and out of the range, of the punching range, so quick. And he has very fast hands. That guy is a very entertaining fighter. I wish him the best. I'm a big fan of Jai, I'll be honest. So I'm looking forward to that fight the most. And obviously, I'm the biggest Deontay Wilder fan in the world, in my opinion. I think I am. So that is the other fight that I'm looking forward to. Parker versus Deontay. I mean, Joseph Parker has a chance. He has a good chance, actually, especially considering the fact that Deontay has only had 1 fight in like 2 years, or maybe more than 2 years. And that fight was only 1 round. But he has had many sparring matches, many sparring matches. And he's always talking about he's done 100 rounds in preparation to the fight. So maybe he would be sharp regardless of not having fights in the last couple of years. Parker, on the other hand, he's been active. He's a good fighter, very good fighter, former WBO heavyweight champion. His last performance in South Africa was spectacular, but it was against a guy that he was supposed to do that to. So I wouldn't put too much, I wouldn't give that too much credit. He deserves the credit though. I mean, he got the victory in a dominant fashion. But against Deontay Wilder, I mean, Wilder is a beast, bro. That guy knows how to punch. And then the guy has a heart. His chin is good, but I don't know, man. After those Fury fights, I don't know, man. That guy, bro, I don't know, man. I'm just going to say that I'm excited about this fight. I wish all of them the best. I've actually come to a point where I'm not as emotionally invested as I used to. So may the best man win. That's all I have to say. May the best man win. I am looking forward to Jai Opetai's career in general. I'm looking forward to the next 5 years. I'm waiting for Jai to unify the cruiserweight division and move up to heavyweight and see what he achieves.
Thanks, I appreciate your take on this. Our brother Mayo Joe, can you come in, bro? Mayo Joe, your take on this card. Which fight are you looking forward to the most?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, bro.
Right. For me, it's really crazy. There's a lot of fights that I'm actually quite interested in besides the AJ fights. But the one particular fight that I am very, very interested in, is the Wilder Parker fight. For some reason, I the reason why I'm interested in that fight is obviously I still want to see Joshua Wilder. To be fair, that fight is going to pass itself by day, but I still want to see it. And I see that fight as a serious match for Wilder.
Mayo Joe,
Huh?
I don't know, your audio is cracking, or is it just me?
Yeah,
Is it cracking?
yeah. It's cracking a little bit, but I can see him though.
Okay. Should I repeat
Okay,
everything I said? Is it
now it's
better?
better. Yeah, now it's better. Yeah.
I probably just need to speak a little louder. Okay, I'm just going to start all over again. So I did say that I there's a lot of fights on that card that I'm interested in besides the AJ fight. Okay? Against Parker. This is because I see AJ fight Wilder eventually. I know that fight is gone past its sell-by date, but I still want to see it. I still want to see that fight. But Wilder against Parker is a serious banana skin, man, because we all know that Parker is very, very skillful. Parker has had more activity in the last 2 years, way more better activity than Wilder. Wilder has not really fought anyone. And I don't know how his timing, I don't know what his chin is going to be looking like. I just pray that the guy has not, just become old overnight, because he's 38 years old as well. He hasn't got time. So, to be honest, I just really hope that Wilder, one way or the other, finds the right hand and that the right hand is strong enough to send Parker out of there. I mean, I do like Parker as well as a fighter, as a person, but I prefer Wilder to win the fight. And I just really hope that Wilder is able to do it because, to be honest with you, like I said, I'm not sure where Wilder is right now. I am not sure at all because he came back from, some very brutal fight against Tyson Fury. The second and the third fight, he got brutally beaten. And then when he fought Elenius, he was only there for a few seconds. It was less than 3 minutes. And that is not enough. I would have preferred for Elenius to have tested him properly, but he wasn't tested at all. And if Wilder is not able to find that right hand against Parker, I'm afraid Parker might beat him. I'm afraid he might, honestly. So I'm interested in that fight. And another fight I'm actually quite interested in would be the Daniel DuBois against Jarrell Pharmacy Miller. Just because I'm just hoping, I know DuBois is not all that, especially right now, but I'm just hoping that DuBois just finds a way to knock that fat blob out of there. And I never want to see this guy again. I'm sorry. I do not like him. I've never liked him. I know people say that he's good for the heavyweight division because he can talk and all of that. But for somebody to be that much of a drug cheat, I hate that. I really hate it. For you to think that you want to have an unfair advantage over someone who is coming in clean, right? Only God knows how long this guy has been taking drugs, how long he's been taking PEDs. In my opinion, all the fights on his record should be ruled as no contest. All of them. So I'm surprised that they brought the guy in. I'm surprised that he's fighting in Saudi. But I just hope that one way or the other, DuBois is able to get him out of there. And hopefully that will be the end of his career. I don't want to see him again. He should go become a bouncer or a bodybuilder and just take as much drugs as he wants. And every other fight on that card, but these are the ones that I'm really, really, really interested in. That's all I got to say for now.
Thanks, but I appreciate your take on this. Let's go on here. Ajagbe. Ajagbe, which fight are you looking for to the most on this card right here? This is a great night for boxing. I can imagine how much the Saudi spent, like to literally assemble all these fighters, together.
My Joe made a great point, but you know what? I think Wilder's he's gonna take the head off Joseph Parker, man. Listen, Wilder's still pissed about Tyson Fury, and who better else to take the anger off than Joseph Parker, his friend. You know, I think Wilder is literally gonna knock out Joseph Parker, and I'm actually worried for that guy with the damage he took against Joe Joyce. He looked like I've never seen anything like that. You know, I thought I thought Parker was the more movable guy. You know, more athletic and able to move, and you know, but I was wrong. So I think Joe Joyce, his best days are way past him. At this point now, it's trying to get as much money as possible, and hopefully he get this Wilder fight is a good payday. But I don't see that fight going distance or anything like that, man. That guy's probably gonna get knocked out in the 4th round, really bad. You know, and I don't even know why they put him in there. I don't think he's completely healed from the Joe Joyce fight, but that's my concern for that main event. But of all the fights that I want to see, it's a long shot, but it's definitely DuBois shutting up freaking Jarrell Miller. I cannot stand that motherfucker, man, no matter what. But you know what annoys me the most too? Is how Daniel DuBois was from the start of his career up until now. It was not properly done. Once somebody smells that you got that quit in you, it's always gonna be like that. It's always gonna be like that. Because it's not once, but twice that we've seen it. And I think Jarrell Miller sees it too. I was watching the press conference. Dan DuBois looked extremely uncomfortable. He looked extremely uncomfortable. And Jarrell Miller is going to be rough. He's going to be trying to cheat any way possible. He's going to get to Daniel DuBois, and he's going to quit again. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It happened more than once.
Jarrell Miller has been inactive for a long time, and juice Jarrell Miller, I would say, would probably beat DuBois, but not a one without the juice.
This Jarrell Miller is already getting inside Daniel DuBois' head. I saw it in press conference, and I'm telling you now, it's already been done. Jarrell Miller is gonna win. He's gonna beat Daniel DuBois. I'm telling you, he's gonna knock him out.
That would be a shame if that happens.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen, and that's the fight I'm looking forward to. That's it.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate your take on this, guys. You've heard it, and then we'll move to the next one. Now, finally, Eddie Hearn of Mantra Boxing met with Deontay Bronze Bumper Wilder. It's crazy how things work, you know. Eddie Hearn of Mantra Boxing and Anthony Joshua met Deontay Bronze Bumper Wilder for the first time ever. Yes, Wilder and Joshua differently, like linking up.
You tip it off with seeing Eddie and Frank within touching distance as well. It's
Wilder being very nice, very calm, very grateful. Joshua the same. Joshua sometimes he looks very like he looks like I don't know. Joshua must be a very shy guy like that. Sometimes he looks like he's shy. You know what I mean? And the other Mantra Boxing kicked it off with Deontay Wilder. Finally, after so many back and forth, you know, words of war, so many things being said, so many like I don't remember when Eddie Hearn mocked Deontay Wilder then, and we called him all sort of names. Wilder the same, called Eddie Hearn a devil. Wilder calling Joshua a scared rabbit. And then, bro, what do you guys make of this right here, this link up right here? I mean, it's nice to see two brothers come together. And I'm referring to Joshua and Wilder. Wilder is very proud of his roots, you know. Joshua the same. And we all know that this card is been like basically built for both of them though. If they get the win, they meet next. And it's gonna be fireworks if that happens. But at the press conference, Wilder was very vocal. He said, listen, I'm happy for you. I hope it happens. If it doesn't happen, it's no bad thing. Wilder is a humble guy, but when he's in a Wilder the guy is a humble guy, but Wilder the fighter, whenever he's in that fight mode, becomes a total different person that you don't recognize. Adewale, I know how much you hate Eddie Hearn on Matter Boxing, and you like Joshua, but you are not really a fan, like you're a Wilder fan differently. What was the first reaction when we saw this?
Bro, I'm not even kidding you when I say this. I felt like a child watching Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior being friends. No, let me look for a better analogy from a Niger perspective. Which one of those great rivalries did we have in the 90s? You know, in the early 90s that we grew up on, like Tales by Moonlight type of stuff, Sesame Street. Look, I can't even articulate myself properly. I was so excited seeing those two guys standing next to each other, shaking hands. I saw Wilder addressing AJ. Bro, I wish you the best. If the fight happens, even if it doesn't happen, I wish you the best. Man, bro, I love Wilder, man. The guy is very mature. Some people say it's fake, but that's maturity, man. You let it go. You guys have had the beef for years. And the beef wasn't even between Wilder and AJ, if you think about it. It was Barry Hearn and Eddie Hearn. Those guys are the reason why a lot of us started criticizing AJ so bad. And obviously the extremist fanatics. So I was very happy. It was a refreshing moment for me. Respect to Wilder for humbling himself and for, showing AJ the respect that I believe AJ deserves, and respect to Eddie Hearn. Sorry, no, not Eddie Hearn. Respect to Wilder for burying the hatchet between himself and Eddie. I heard they were stuck on a flight for 10 hours. So they didn't even have a choice. They had to communicate because they were sitting down close to each other on the flight with Malik Scott, his trainer, and they had to have conversations. I mean, Eddie Hearn, the guy was so arrogant in the beginning, very, very arrogant, very, he just called Wilder that guy from Alabama, oh no, nobody knows him. Nobody knows him. The guy was so disrespectful, and that's why we did not like the guy, period. So I'm happy they came together. And the fight will potentially happen, and we are keeping our fingers crossed.
Adewale, sorry, just before you go, sorry, Ray. I'm
Yes,
just going to mention this because I want you to address it, right? Just before you go, real quick. Now, did you watch the interview Wilder conducted with Channel 4? I think Channel 4 or Channel 5, right after the press conference, where Wilder went back and started saying how AJ docked him, how he sent 50 million. That's one thing. As much as I'm beginning to now like Wilder and I'm beginning to really embrace him, let me put it that way, there are things he does sometimes where I don't understand. You're in the presence of the man and you said all these nice things, and as soon as they put the camera in your face and the man is not in your presence, you started talking about the 50 million again. You started talking about how you sent 50 million offer and he didn't accept it and he has docked you and blah blah blah. What would you say about that?
You know what? If you noticed, that guy, the main guy in the press conference, the guy that AJ shut down, I don't know that guy's name. That guy was trying to play the same game, asking Wilder, do you think anyone on this table prevented you from having a unification fight in your career? And Wilder just played it up saying, this is not the best time to talk about that. We are here to make a great event, blah, blah, blah. That was during the press conference. But right after the press conference, and many more people are sticking cameras and microphones in front of Deontay Wilder and all these other guys, and they keep on asking the same questions. Why haven't you fought AJ in the last 7 years? Why haven't you fought AJ in the last 55 years? The guy had to go back to what he knows, which is a fact. They offered the AJ $50 million. AJ accepted the offer. They made the offer on Instagram. AJ accepted the offer on Instagram. Eddie Hearn came out and said, we need proof of funds. Later on, Eddie Hearn came back and said, yes, we know the funds are available, but we're just not going to take the fight. So if those sequence of events did happen, then how is that not a fact? How is
Well, is it fair to say that they abduct each other? Wilder was also offered, Wilder was also offered 120 million, 3-fight deal, fight Brazil for 20 million, fight AJ back to back for 100 million. And what did they do? How much is AJ getting? Because of that, we're not going to take the offer. What would you say about that as well then?
Okay. If you think about it, like I've been trying to make a fight with someone. I offered him 50 million. He turned it down. He offered me 15 million flat fee. I accepted it, but they still maneuvered and fought Povetkin instead. After all that stress that had happened, plus all the name calling, the dragging, this guy is a bum. He's not fought anybody. He has chicken legs. His fans are dumb. He's from Alabama. Oh, this guy is a bum. He has chicken legs. Oh, this guy is a dosser. Oh, this guy, he has no fans. He hasn't sold nothing. He has only made $1 million in his career. After all that slandering and dragging for years, and then Wilder still had to go fight Luis Ortiz, whom was AJ's mandatory. Then Wilder had found a path to success through Tyson Fury, who just came out of retirement and coke snorting and all that stuff. He found a path to say, yes, okay, since I'm not able to get this other superstar in the division, Anthony Joshua, now I'm able to get Tyson Fury, and God blessed their first fight. It turned out to be a draw. That was what blessed Deontay Wilder. Once the first fight was a draw, the second fight was a hit. Unfortunately, the second fight went very bad for Wilder, and that created a third fight. So at that point, it wasn't even Wilder's business anymore with AJ. Wilder wasn't thinking about AJ anymore. Plus, if Wilder had accepted the unprepared offer that DAZN offered him, because John Skipper, one of the former chairmen of DAZN Boxing, came out and apologized for not preparing properly for the meeting between their team and Deontay Wilder's team.
No, what he said, because I watched it, he said that maybe they would have so these are his words, exact words, because I watched the interview as well. He said that we made a take it or leave it offer. So it was more like we cannot negotiate this. It was kind of like disrespectful the way they approached it. Yeah, take it or leave it. That's what we're offering you. Are you going to take it or not? But then Charlie Finkel in the meeting, right? Because if you watch the interview with Lou DiBella broke everything down. He was in the meeting as well. He said, Charlie Finkel, now they wanted to know what AJ would be earning, right? And they're like, you don't need to know what AJ is going to earn. This is what we're offering you. It's like this was how they deal, right? This is exactly how they're dealing with all the fighters. You do not know what the other guy is earning. It's not your business. This is what we are offering you. Are you going to accept it or not? Right? It is not up to you as a fighter to say, you know what? Well, I need to negotiate this money and blah, blah, blah. This fee, sorry. That was what happened with that thing.
But bro, let's keep it real, man. If you're willing to bet, to bet on yourself, if you're willing to bet and say, if you guys are going to offer me a flat fee, I'm not going to take that flat fee because I believe I can make more money and more achievement in my career if I go the other direction. And that's what Francis Ngannou did. Ngannou was offered $8 million to fight John Jones by the UFC. He turned it down because, no, man, I deserve more than this. And that would have been the highest paid heavyweight, according to the UFC's whatever. So sometimes, and right now, look at where Francis Ngannou is. He's now a bigger, much bigger superstar. And guess what? The same thing happened with Deontay Wilder. If he had accepted the DAZN deal, guess what happened? AJ lost to Andy Ruiz. So who would Deontay Wilder have fought after Dominic Breazeale? He was smart. He turned down the DAZN deal, fought Dominic Breazeale, fought Luis Ortiz, and then fought Tyson Fury 2 times extra. He made more than $100 million in those fights.
I don't think so because all the figures are online. But yeah, I think when it comes to this subject, anyway, we're always going to have our opinions and all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
But the business guys know they know exactly what happened. They know why they didn't accept, they know why they didn't accept the offers and all of that. So yeah, anyway, I'll let you finish my point because I have to finish shortly. But thanks as well, man. It's good points, mate.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just happy. You know what? I'm happy at this point in their careers. I don't know why AJ still had that poker face, trying to look mean and like a tough
It's because
guy.
of Jared Miller, bro.
Relax,
He hates Jared Miller. It's because of Jared. He hates the guy. The guy cost him his career. He cost him his damn career. What do you expect? The guy is pissed to see him there. He's completely pissed. It's because of Jarrell. You don't see when Jarrell was talking. He couldn't even wait. He just said, "Will you shut up?" He couldn't wait for Jarrell to even finish his sentence. It's because of Jarrell Miller, bro.
And, see, bro. I need to say something real quick so Ty can jump in. I forgot to mention. You know, when I said my favorite fight coming up in the card, I said Jai Opetai and Wilder Parker, but I forgot DuBois versus Miller. I'm looking forward to that fight. Like, bro, I want DuBois to give that guy a body punch, man.
Honestly.
I'll punch that guy in his belly, bro. Punch that fat man. That guy's belly is so big, bro. Punch that belly to shreds. That's what Daniel DuBois needs to do. Punch the hell out of Big Baby Miller's belly.
Honestly.
Big Baby Miller, I believe the juice he has been juicing his entire career is what made him go that far. I remember watching Big Baby versus DuBois. And Big Baby was marching forward and, bro, throwing like 600 punches every minute. And he crushed.
I think people are going to see how poor he is. People are going to see the real Big Baby. How poor of a fighter. People are going to see how bad he is.
Bro, and guess what? Daniel DuBois is experienced. The guy has fought Joe Joyce. He has fought Usyk. He's going to beat Big Baby, bro.
I believe
He's actually going to beat Big Baby, And
I believe so.
I hope there's going to be proper drug testing. Nobody can even mess with that situation when it's Big Baby. I believe they can't be that stupid to allow Big Baby not be fully tested. So if there is full drug testing, then Big Baby is going to get knocked out, man.
Yeah, bro, I think so. Tajagwe, your take on this, bro?
I've not made my own point, so because I need to.
Maju, sorry.
I just joined with Madewale.
Yeah, okay.
What were we talking about? Daniel DuBois?
We're talking about Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn and Wilder in meeting for the first time, and after so much drama, and we know.
Listen, I've always said we could go back and forth with each other. It's always gonna be like this. I'm gonna say it. Wilder, AJ, they both have faults in it, and each of them have to realize they each had faults in it. Okay, it doesn't even matter. I'm glad AJ knew, like, hey, the fight should have happened a long time ago. It should have happened, right? There's nothing you could do about it now.
True.
True. There's nothing you could do about it now. It's just as simply as making sure you get in the right position to make your fight and to get paid. But going back and forth about the past is the past. It's done. Each of these guys have faults in it, and for the most part, I think they know it. You don't want it to be like Lennox Lewis and this guy,
Riddick Bowe.
You don't want it to be like that. I don't know why they didn't fight. It is what it is. Because if these promoters get in the way, which they always do, it's gonna be bad for business. If these boxing entities get in the way, it's always gonna be bad for business. And it seems like all these that I just mentioned, they all got in the way. WBC didn't do the right thing. These promoters didn't do the right thing, and that's where we are right now with the whole situation.
Bro, let me just say something quickly. Do you know that Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis, they still, even though they're in their 50s or maybe early 60s, they still haven't fully settled the beef because they never fought.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, like Adewale said, and like Ty just said about the fact that if we want to look at the whole thing, right, I think fans, we get over emotional sometimes. And I think I've had to learn to be less emotional about these guys and about these fights, because at the end of the day, they are the one taking the glory. I'm not taking no glory. They're getting the money. I'm not getting no money. I'm just doing all this for excitement and for the fact that I like them as fighters. Okay. When we look at the Wilder situation, Joshua Wilder, they were both at fault, and their teams as well. Their teams as well. We can also blame their teams, because we cannot say at this point that it is entirely Joshua's fault. And we can't also say that it is entirely Wilder's fault. Both teams, both fighters, they really should have made this fight happen when they had the opportunity, when they had all the glory, when they had the belts, when they had all of this. But they didn't do it. So they are to be blamed, But I'm glad that they finally, one way or the other, they met. Although I'm still not entirely happy with the interviews that Wilder conducted after the press conference. I think Wilder should have just remained consistent. He should have just continued to say that, listen, the past is the past. We're in the present and we need to move on. And you're going to see the fight. We're working on the fight and we're hoping the fight will happen. Because what's going to happen again now is if they start blaming each other again, where AJ is conducting interview and blaming Wilder, and Wilder is conducting interviews and blaming AJ, they're both going to see these interviews later on. All right? So you're better off not conducting any interview. Like AJ didn't conduct no interview. He didn't want to speak to anyone because he was still pissed anyway, and he didn't want to say what he really want to say. So he just decided not to do any interviews. So I think that for me would have been a better approach, because if they stick the camera to your face, those guys are going to keep asking you the same question over and over again. And then Wilder was like, what do you think? I offered him 50 million. There's no need to go back to all of that. You've already done a fantastic press conference. You've already said beautiful things about each other. Just leave it there. And if anybody asks you further questions, just say, listen, guys, I'm just going to keep saying the same thing. The fight didn't happen before, but we're hoping the fight will happen now. We're working on it, and I respect AJ, he respects me, blah, blah, blah. Leave it at that. But as regards at the end meeting Wilder, and see, at the end of the day, right, I have learned this in business. I'm not a massive businessman, but I've done a big business. And I realize that, boy, no matter how much dislike you have towards someone, when money talks, bullshit takes a marathon. It's as simple as that. You will see people bury their hatchets. You will see people bury their hatred. All of a sudden, worst enemies become best friends because ego is involved. So all this nonsense of, we hate each other, you called him this, you called him whatever from Alabama, all that is bullshit. When money is involved, they bury all of that. In fact, if you ask them to kiss, they will kiss. So it's as simple as that. No one should get emotionally involved in all of that. At the end of the day, these guys are good. They're going to be getting tens of millions. They're going to be making loads of money. They're going to make history. And we fans, we're just going to be here to enjoy whatever it is that they give us. So simple.
Well, Joe, I have a question, bro. What do you think about AJ potentially fighting Filip Hrgović for the vacant IBF before Wilder?
That's the thing. So that's the thing I'm not happy with. I think that AJ is more interested in the belts. And I think AJ at this point should understand that he has held most of these belts. He's a big superstar. He has made shite loads of money. Just fight Wilder. But he's not afraid of Wilder, but he's so keen on becoming a 3-time world champion. I mean, you can still go for the belt after Wilder, win, lose, or draw. You can still go for the belt, but I think the path AJ is trying to follow is I fight Wallin, and then I fight Hrgović, and he thinks he can beat both of those guys. Then I go fight Wilder with the belt. Then the fight becomes bigger. But he also needs to understand that Wilder is growing older, and also the fight is not going to be as interesting because Wilder is almost 40, man. Just fight the guy now and give us a good fight. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to love the both of you. We're going to honor and cherish the both of you. But I have to be honest, I think the path they're trying to follow is beat Wallin, beat Hrgović, get the IBA belt, and then go into Wilder fight. I think that's what they want to do. I really think so.
I think that's disappointing, honestly.
It is very disappointing. I'm actually not happy about that. As much as I'm a big AJ fan, in fact, maybe a fanboy to an extent, I actually hate that. I don't like that at all. You've already had the belt twice. What more do you need, man? You've been champion, man. You've held this belt twice, man. Unified twice. Come on, man. You've made a whole lot of money. You're a mega superstar. Mega. I live in Ireland. Yeah, even in my town, yeah, you've got AJ's picture on Lucozade and whatever everywhere, even till today. And I live in this small country. I was in Germany in January. Ray can testify to this. AJ's billboard is there in places, in a lot of places. So you're everywhere. Just leave the belt, man. Go fight Wilder. Win, lose or draw, you're still gonna be ranked high anyway. And you're still a young lad. You're 34. You still got time, bro. But that's what he wants to do. That's his life. That's his career. It's not mine. You know, the fact that I support him does not mean that I'm going to support all of his decisions. And if that is what he's trying to do, I'm not going to call it a duck, but I just think it's a dumb move. I'm sorry.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate your take on this. Guys, you've heard it from our brothers, Tajagwe, Adewale, and of course Mayo Joe. God bless you for always support the channel and stay tuned for my Sweet Bangalore right here. Yeah, we do have to talk about Francis Ngannou, but would think we'll have to let me see what I can do right now. Yeah, I think we'll have to record that for sure. Yeah, we would have to record it. So guys, I want to say big ups to you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back very soon. And for those of you guys who are watching, let me give a shout out to each and every one of you. Shout out to big ups to Joseph Ajayi. Big ups to Edward Morris. Big ups to Lisa Bales. Gentleman's Game. Michael Beaufort. Barry Murray. And the rest. Anyways, those of you guys who haven't commented but watching quietly, God bless you all. Stay to remember right here.